Hey guys, welcome to another Single Over 30 vlog. This week I was speaking with a girlfriend of mine and she was talking with me about the types of men she'd been attracted to over the years. And she said, I was always just a sucker for a guy in a cowboy hat and boots. And that got me thinking about the types of men I've been attracted to over the years. I wasn't attracted to the guy with the cowboy hat and boots. I wasn't into the guy with tattoos and motorcycles. No, I was into Mr. All-American. That was the guy who maybe played baseball or worked for an advertising agency. He had a big smile and a big personality, big eyes. He was charismatic, and maybe he kind of looked like a younger Brad Pitt. That kind of guy was my kryptonite. And when I thought about Mr. All-American, I automatically knew what kind of emotion I was going to have if he was my husband. I would have intense feelings. I would feel like I was in love. Now, maybe you've heard a million times, love is not a feeling. I heard that so many times and it was confusing to me because on one hand I agree, but on the other hand I disagree. I disagree because love does involve feelings. I mean, every relationship that involves love has feelings in it. I mean, a teacher who loves her students, she has feelings for them. A student who loves their teacher, she has feelings for her teacher. A husband who loves his wife has feelings for his wife. It's just that the intense emotion that relationships sometimes start out with, that kind of intensity, those fireworks can't be maintained. Instead, in a healthy relationship, what happens is that ultimately those kinds of intense feelings that you have, those are replaced with something deeper, where the person can be in a bad mood or they have insecurities or they're crabby one day and you still care about them. It's replaced with something more quiet and deep. So if you knew this is true, which it absolutely is, and if we knew over time that those kinds of fireworks fade, not that the attraction totally disappears, it's just that the intensity of it disappears. So what you end up with is you have a really great friend, because that's what happens in a really great marriage, is that it looks a lot like just living with your best friend. So if you knew this was true, would it change how you selected someone? Would it change the kind of process that you go through as you're choosing someone to marry? There's this really great book. It's called The Meaning of Marriage. It's by Timothy Keller. And I want to read just a little bit to you from it because I think it will be encouraging to you and give you some guidance in this area. So it says, your spouse has got to be your best friend or be on the way to becoming your best friend, or you won't have a strong, rich marriage that endures and that makes you both vastly better persons for having been in it. I'm not saying you should marry someone when you feel no attraction. The Bible does indicate that your spouse must be more than your dearest friend, but not less. Let me read that again because I think it's really powerful because it will change how you select someone. It says the Bible does indicate that your spouse must be more than your dearest friend, but not less. Most of us know that there is some truth in the stereotype that men overvalue beauty in a prospective spouse and that women overvalue wealth in a prospective mate. And it can be, women can overvalue beauty and good looks too. But if you marry someone more for those things than for friendship, you're not only setting yourself up for future failure, wealth may, and sexual appeal will decrease, you're also setting yourself up for loneliness. For what Adam in the garden needed was not just a sexual partner, but a companion, bone of his bones and flesh of his flesh. If singles accepted this principle, it would drastically change the way people seek a marriage partner in our day. It is typical for a single person to walk into a room and see a number of people of the opposite sex and immediately begin to screen them, not for companionship, but for attractiveness. Let's say 3 out of the 10 looks appealing. The next step is to approach those 3 to see what rapport there may be. If one of them will agree to go out on a date and you get romantically involved, perhaps you will see if you can turn that person into a friend as well. The problem is many of your best prospects for friendships were likely among those you ruled out because they were too tall or too short, too fat or too skinny. And so maybe as I was reading that, you're thinking, no, but that's settling. But it's not. If you understand what happens over time is that you wake up next to your best friend. So what if we began in the selection process with the end in mind. So here are some questions to ask yourself. What is it that I expect to feel that will prove that the relationship I am in is a good one? Do I lean more on emotion than on character qualities of the other person? Is there a certain type I am attracted to that can make me overlook the importance of friendship? If I know that fireworks fade, does that make me more open to the types of people I might consider as a potential mate? I hope these things have been helpful to you. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next time.